Hi Fude lovers, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've had time to film a Fude video, so I'm excited to have even just a little bit of time to jump on here and film a video for you guys. But I have a really exciting video today. I'm going to be showing my current BoBo Do Brush Collection. And BoBo is absolutely amazing. She works alongside with Coyuto and Chikuhodo, major brush manufacturers, to give us these amazing Fude brushes. And reading from BoBo's website, it looked like she was really inspired by Sonia G. She also went to Kumano herself. And yeah, it's just such an inspiration to see somebody, you know, make their dream come true as far as making brushes, working alongside with major brush manufacturers. And I have to say, every time I've ordered from BoBo, she's absolutely amazing. Customer service is A1. She's very responsive. She has a chat system on her website, and you can also DM her on Instagram. She's very responsive and just super helpful. Really, really amazing to talk to. And she does typically send little freebies in your parcels. Shipping is really quick. It's just amazing service. It's what you want every Japanese brush company to be like. She truly sets the standards so high, giving us the customer service she does. So if you've never bought from her website before, I highly recommend. I've purchased multiple brushes from her, as you can see, and it's just been nothing but a pleasant experience. So thank you to BoBo, first of all, for making these beautiful brushes for us. And what I've noticed too is she really gives us brushes that personally I never thought we'd see come back to the Fude market. Rare hair types, beautiful rattan handles. So it's just such a treat to own her brushes. So without further ado, I'm going to start with this Coyuto Red Tail Squirrel Face Brush S, as in small, by Yoshiki. This brush is 42 millimeters in length. As I'm filming this currently, unfortunately, it was a limited release and it is sold out. So I really do hope that she does bring this back for anybody who missed it. It is just such an exquisite brush. And I'm going to be reading from BoBo's website on some of this verbiage I'm going to be saying here, but just to properly explain these brushes, they're just phenomenal. So, made using extremely rare red-tailed squirrel hair. The red-tailed squirrel is a type of squirrel that inhabits high mountain regions in Central and South America. Its fur is soft and elastic, similar to Kazan squirrel. This was created by Master Yoshiki, the president of Coyuto, and features a rattan handle. And again, it is limited edition. This little bunny rattan handle is just gorgeous. The way it shifts, and each one is going to be unique in its own way. But even like the little moon, it's super hard to capture on camera, but even the moon has an iridescent shine to it. Oh, it's just, there it is. It's just out of this world beautiful. And in person, in natural light, is when you really see these rattan handles take on their full potential. Like, just beautiful. And of course, it's got the Yoshiki engraving on the back. And this brush, it did have, so it had the Mount Fuji available, Mount Fuji rattan handle. And it also had this same handle, but it was red with gold ferrule. But I really loved this combo for some reason. Absolutely adored it. And I was lucky enough to grab her last one she had at the warehouse. So I feel very fortunate. Thank you so much, BoBo. And it just gives that perfect shape I love for paddle brushes, with that beautiful squared off top. Just my favorite. I absolutely am going to love this brush. This is new. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I had just recently washed it, but I'm going to adore this brush with bronzer. I just know it because it has that 42 millimeter length, For me personally, that's my favorite length for bronzer. Some of my favorite lengths anyway, among my favorite lengths, but just beautiful. Honestly, the size is very similar to, which I'll be showing, the Coyuto White Canadian Squirrel. The Coyuto is 1 millimeter longer than the red, but the shapes are super similar. The red Squirrel has more of that diamond taper, whereas the Coyuto is a little bit less tapered, but very similar shapes, and that's really what I love. And with this red tail squirrel, it really is elastic, like, but it's so soft. Like, it just feels like a cloud on your skin. There's no way of describing it other than when you try it for yourself. It is just such a lovely treat to own this type of bristle. And because it's rare, if you guys ever see these brushes come in stock, I highly, highly recommend, because I don't know how much longer red tail squirrel hair will be available. Because as we know, the Fude market is always changing, hair's running out, and yeah, it's just beautiful. And even in the sunlight, like natural sun, it's hard to show here, but in natural lighting, it's just got such a beautiful red hue to it. Honestly, dare I say I even like this more than Kazan Squirrel, which is crazy. Like, there's just something about this red tail squirrel that I just adore. It's just so special. Super soft. If you have sensitive skin, this is a brush I would highly recommend to someone with sensitive skin, because you would barely even feel this on the face. It's just so silky. Such a beautiful brush. Great, great job, Coyuto and BoBo, on this brush. Oh, exquisite. I love it. And the next 3 brushes I'm going to show, so I did not get from BoBo's website direct. I did get mine from Beautylish. However, I noticed they are still available on BoBo's website right now, so I definitely wanted to show them. I have previously shown these brushes on my channel, but in case you didn't see that video, and you're interested in seeing these brushes again, I definitely wanted to show them. So this is the Coyuto Red Tail Squirrel brush set, and this is also in the Rat and Bunny handle by Yoshiki. The bunny on this is a little different, but super cute, and just look at that iridescence. Just beautiful. They're all so unique in their own ways, like gorgeous. It goes from like green, purple, even some pink in there. Just gorgeous. Again, in this lovely red tail squirrel bristle. And this cheek brush, so this is 34 millimeters in length, which to me is absolutely perfect for cheek brushes. Same exact hair as the S Face brush I just showed. Just as soft, just as luxurious. This set is still available, and I highly recommend it, especially for the price, and you're getting 3 brushes. Oh, and I also wanted to mention, so since BoBo just recently opened up her website, currently she's offering, I think it's 10% off 3,000 Japanese yen or more. So if you spend more than 3,000 Japanese yen, you get 10% off, which is a lot when you're spending high dollar amounts on these luxurious brushes. So thank you so much, BoBo, for offering us that discount while your shop is still new. I know I really appreciate it. Any type of savings on Fude, we never really hardly see that. So I just thought that was very generous of her. Very, very generous. And then here we have the eyeshadow brush L, and this one is 20 millimeters in length. And I really love this shape and size because you can pack shimmer on the lid, but you can also use it as a blender. It's just a really nice versatile shape. It's got that nice diamond taper. It really comes to that point. So this would be a great one and done eyeshadow brush for me personally. In fact, I have used it for one and done eye looks, and it's just really perfect for that. Really, really nice. And as always, just super, super soft. And what's nice about these, the brush set, is the ferrule. It's got this beautiful glistening effect. Just the detailing in these brushes are just unbelievable. And then the last one from this set is the eyeshadow brush S, and this is 15 millimeters in length. Beautiful rattan, just like the others. This one is smaller and less dense, but I just feel like for the price, this brush set was just phenomenal. I mean, you're getting 3 incredible brushes for a really reasonable price, in my opinion. Here it is compared with the large. You can see how much larger the large is and how much thicker. So really is a lovely brush set, in my opinion. I really feel like the shapes and the brushes chosen were just really well curated, in my opinion. Super cute. And of course the bunny rattan handles, you just can't go wrong. All right, and then one of my most treasured brushes currently in my collection is this Coyuto White Canadian Squirrel Brush S, as in small. This is in the Mount Fuji rattan handle. Bristle length is 43 millimeters. Now, this brush I have not seen specifically on BoBo's website yet. However, I messaged her on Instagram asking about some White Canadian Squirrel brushes. She was kind enough. She found this last brush at her warehouse and I purchased it. And this handle, if you ever have a chance to own the Mount Fuji rattan handles, this is probably so far my favorite rattan in my entire collection. I mean, just look at that shift. I wish you guys could see this in person. It's just truly on another level. Like the mountain has like blue to greenish color, and then the hearts shift from like green, yellow to purple to like a lavender to pink. Oh, it's just absolutely out of this world. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the Yoshiki engraving. So this is identical pretty much to my other Coyuto White Canadian Squirrel brush that I have in my collection that I've definitely shown. And as I've stated in my previous videos, this one was featured in my favorite bronzer brush collection video. So for me, having a rare hair type such as White Canadian Squirrel and owning it in a backup brush, I was like, yes, please. Because as we know, White Canadian Squirrel, among other bristle types, are really becoming more and more scarce. So I was really happy to have a backup. And every brush is just bundled so differently. So even though they're the same brush, they have their slight differences, and I love that. Absolutely love it. Oh, I just love White Canadian Squirrel. There's just something about it. And I really love this length of the 43 millimeters because not only is it great for bronzer, but if you have small features like I do, it's also great for a powder brush. And I feel like if you're gonna have a rare hair type, why not have it in a versatile size? It's really just lovely. And White Canadian Squirrel, super soft, and the way it just bounces back, like it just blends product with just such ease. I mean, I remember the first time I used White Canadian Squirrel, I used my brush I just showed, my other Maquillé design one. I used it with bronzer for the first time, and it just lays the product and blends it within no time. And I remember thinking to myself, I almost wish it didn't blend so fast because it's such an experience and treat to use. I wanted to just keep rubbing it on my face. Just gorgeous. Absolutely love it. So if you ever see her brushes come back in this Mount Fuji handle, snag them because I would love more in this handle. Just gorgeous. And then the next one here we have is the Coyuto High Grade Saikoho Goat Cheek and Highlight Brush by Yoshiki. So this is from BoBo's website. So or as I typed it, Bobo and Coyuto chose, and this is from her website, chose high grade Saikoho Goat, which has a silky touch and offers both elasticity and resilience. This hair is less prone to breakage. This brush can pick up matte highlight powder to brighten sunken areas of the face, visually giving the entire face a collagen-rich experience. I have never owned Saikoho Goat quite like this. And Bobo says on her website she's never seen Saikoho the way she sees Coyuto's, and I completely agree. It almost feels like Saibigoho, but it's more resilient. And the elasticity is just unreal. Like, you can just see how elastic it is, because what I really love is it keeps its shape. I have used and washed this brush multiple times, and like she says, it's less prone to breakage. For instance, like Takeda's EXS bristles, those can be really delicate and they are prone to breakage. So I do agree. So I would love to see Bobo bring this hair, this high grade Saikoho hair, out some more, like with a nice big cheek brush or bronzer brush. I mean, look at the top. It's like translucent, just like Saibigoho. It's like unbelievable. Look at that. And I have mine in the black and red gradient handle. Fortunately, this one currently, as I'm filming this, is sold out, but the all black one is still available. I'm not sure if she'll be bringing it back. I hope she does. Honestly, I love this brush so much. I've considered getting a backup. I know some of you guys have a backup of this brush, and I can honestly see why. I just love it for under eye setting. And it really is true. It leaves like a sheen on the skin. There's something about this quality of Saikoho Goat. Like, it's unreal. Almost reminds me of Squirrel. Like, my skin type, I used to be oily, and now that I'm 33, I actually am normal, but I can also be dry in our winter months. So I haven't been using goat hair nearly as much as I used to for setting my under eyes, but this one never ever highlights any of my imperfections, creases under my eyes. It just lays the powder down beautifully. Just a lovely brush. And just for size comparisons, I'll compare it with the Wayne Goss airbrush just so you can see the size. And personally, I prefer the size of this Yoshiki one. I don't know what it is. I just do. It's just perfect. And I do have smaller features. That could be why. So keep that in mind. Everyone's preferences are different, but for me, I just love, it's truly become one of my favorite under eye setting brushes. Highly recommend. And the price is so good on that one. I really can't even believe the price on that brush, especially for the high quality Saikoho you're getting. Like, if you don't own any Saibigoho Goat, I highly recommend getting that brush, trying it. It's very close, but it's more, it feels stronger, more resilient, and it's just a real treat to use, especially after Bobo's discount. That one is like a steal. It really is. And then the next one is the Coyuto Super Kolinsky Highlight Brush by Yoshiki. And the bristle length is 30 millimeter, ferrule thickness 11 millimeter. And Bobo says that this brush is based on the shape of the high-grade Saikoho highlight brush that she designed earlier. And this is suitable for powder, cream, and liquid highlight and blush products. And Bobo says that because it uses Super Kolinsky hair, it appears thinner and more compact compared to the Saikoho version. And that is true. You can really see how much pointier the Kolinsky gets at the very top. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so honestly, this is another brush I would love to get a backup of. I have mine in the Scattered Cherry Blossom, but there's also the Single Sakura Radin design. I would love to get the Single Sakura so bad. Oh my gosh. Super soft, super fine. There's something about Coyuto's Super Kolinsky that no other brush brand can even come close to. I've never felt any Kolinsky hair silkier than Coyuto's. It's just unbelievable, and that's what makes this brush. You could definitely use it for under eye setting. My personal favorite, I love this brush for highlight. And this is saying a lot because I have a pretty large Fude collection. This has become my all-time favorite highlight brush in my entire collection. And I do not say this lightly. The first time I used it, it lays down the highlight. The way it can hug the upper cheekbones because it is so tapered there, just at the very point. So it hugs, but as you're applying the highlight, it's already blending. It's like amazing. I've never had a brush like where I laid down the highlight and it's already blending before I can go back too many times. Like it's just blend. It's unbelievable. BoBo, you did a phenomenal job of designing this brush with Coyuto. I absolutely love it. It's got the Yoshiki engraving. I really, really, really hope that I can get a backup of this brush before it's gone. Because as we know, Kolinsky's getting more and more rare. And where I love this brush so much, I would just love having a backup. It's just truly my favorite. I know some of you guys have a backup of this brush as well, and I can truly see why. Absolutely phenomenal. And the next one here is the Coyuto Silver Fox brush medium. So this is the Maple Leaf Maquillé, and the length is 16 millimeters. Look at that maquillé design. Absolutely beautiful. The way it shifts in the light in person, just so stunning. And it's got the Yoshiki engraving. And just to compare, I did take out my CDJapan Silver Fox brush, and you can just see how similar these two brushes are. And unfortunately, this one is no longer available on BoBo's website, but I do hope she brings it back because it is phenomenal. Because I have smaller eyes, I love this brush for deepening the outer V. I can deepen up the crease. I could even go on the lower lash line. Like, it's just such a versatile size. So I love my CDJapan one so much. I was super happy to pick up this one because this handle is just stunning. So I do hope BoBo brings this back for those who missed it. Just silky soft. And Fox is just Silver Fox is a treat to use on the eyes as well. Really lovely. All right, and the next one here, we have the BoBo x Cueto S01. So this is a paddle eye blender brush, and the bristle type is Weasel and Saikoho Goat mix. Bristle length is 16 millimeters and the thickness is 5 millimeters. Now, this bristle mix is amazing because you have the Weasel and Saikoho mixed. You truly get the best of both worlds because Weasel and Goat are both amazing at blending products. Very soft. It's just gorgeous. And the way Cueto bundled this mix, it's just perfection. It's like 50-50, perfect mix. And you really often enough don't see the Japanese market making mixed brushes the way we do Chinese market. You know, we see unique bristle mixes on the Chinese market, but we never hardly see it that much with Japanese market. So the fact that BoBo and Cueto were able to bring us this beautiful mix, so cool. And on her website, she has it compared with the Hakuhodo J5523. So I wanted to just bring it out to compare. And you can see the S01 is larger, a little bit different of a shape, but you can never have enough paddle blending brushes. In my opinion, they're my favorite shape for eyeshadow brushes. Just love it. And I've used this brush so many times for my transition shade. Just adore it. And I've seen this brush go in and out of stock so many times on her website, and I can really see why. Honestly, this is another brush I would highly recommend getting a backup of. So many of her brushes I would really love to get backups. Like, that's how good they are. And honestly, I haven't purchased backups in so long. So for me to even think like that, you know they're good. And I love the handle. It's super elegant the way it comes to the taper. Really, really lovely, as they all are. All right, and then we have so this one's BoBo X Chikuhodo, and this is the S02. So this is a smudger brush. Again, Weasel and Saikoho Goat mix. And the bristle length is 7 millimeters, and the ferrule width is 6 millimeters. So this ferrule width is really nice and thick. You can see how thick the ferrule is from the side, but it really keeps that perfect point. This is honestly my all-time favorite smudger brush I have in my entire collection. You can really get on the upper lash line as well as the lower lash, and because you've got that precision, it's just so easy, and it's very soft, but yet because it has Goat and Weasel mix, it really picks up and blends product with such ease. I mean, the blending power on this brush is just phenomenal, and it just applies the perfect amount. And I've washed and used this brush so many times, and it's really kept its shape. That's why I love how thick the ferrule is, because it hasn't strayed from this shape. It still looks perfect from the day I got it. Love it. And I just wanted to compare real quick to the Sonia G flat definer, just so you guys can see the size and then the width. And you can see how much thicker the Chikuhodo BoBo brush is. You can see like where the ferrule is. The Sonia G is a lot thinner. So Sonia G is going to have a little bit more movement, but this one still has perfect movement. You can see, I mean, it's not stiff, it's just perfection. Absolutely beautiful. She did a lovely job on these brushes, every single one of them. All right, and last but not least, we have the BoBo Chikuhodo. This one is not labeled, but let me see. So this is a flat shader. And again, it is Weasel Saikoho mix, and the bristle length is 13 millimeters. Thickness is 4 millimeters. Again, just flawless. Flawless mix. I love this brush to pack shimmers on the lid. It just applies shimmers with such ease, picks it up. I really don't have to go in too many times when using this brush. Just all these brushes are such a treat to use. I just adore them. Perfect density. And all these brushes are just so well thought out. I wanted to compare it with the Sonia G Soft Shader. This is the brush it reminded me of the most, but you can see the shapes are still different from the side view. And even though the BoBo one is thinner, it still really picks up product so lovely because it's got that Saikoho Goat and Weasel mixed in. But if you love the soft shader, honestly, I would highly recommend the BoBo Chikuhodo one. Just to experience the different bristle mixes, it's a lot of fun, honestly. All right, so that is all my BoBo brushes I have acquired so far. Again, thank you so much, BoBo, for giving us just such exquisite brushes, and all her brushes are just so well thought out, so carefully selected. She gives us nothing but amazing quality, and I'm just ecstatic. I can't wait to see what else she gives us. If you guys haven't noticed, her brushes do sell out very fast on her website, and they randomly will appear. So you really have to be on your game when wanting to purchase her brushes, especially the more rare hair types. So definitely keep an eye out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them down below. And subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.